On a random Tuesday, I decided to join a local chess tournament in Stockholm, Sweden. Nobody was expecting me to be there because for some reason I haven't really played a lot of tournaments in my hometown, and so I surprised a lot of people. I had won round number 1 against a guy rated around 1700, but on round 2 I was facing Gustav, an 18-year-old guy who had a blitz rating quite close to mine. We talked a little bit, and then the arbiter told me to be quiet. Not just me, but everybody. And then we shook hands and started the game. He started with e4 and I replied c5, the Sicilian. He played knight f3 and I was trying to make a choice of should I bring out my knight or should I bring out a pawn. I spent a little bit of time thinking until I ultimately decided to play my pawn up to e6. He played c3, which is known as the Alpin, and I brought out my knight, and then he pushed his pawn, I moved up my knight, and he played d4. This was all theory of the Alpin, and to be fair, I don't really love playing against this opening, because even though I think I like playing against this opening, I lose most of my games against it, so I wasn't really so happy in this position. I played queen c7, threatening the pawn, he defended it, and I brought out my knight. And now the idea is that I'm threatening his center, but at the same time, I'm able now to bring out my pieces as he decided to take my pawn on d6. He brought out the bishop to d3, and I was calculating here, what happens if I castle? Will he be able to go bishop takes h7, sacrifice the bishop, and then Greek gift me? Which is a tactic in chess, where you sacrifice the bishop and then bring out your knight and queen to h5. I didn't want to risk my chances, so I played h6, stopping all of these ideas. He started thinking, what should he do now? I was now feeling quite happy, because there was no pawn on e5, and I could now very simply, after he castled, castle myself too. He brought out his queen to e2, and now the only piece that I yet had to develop was my bishop on c8. Where was it gonna go, I thought? I wanted to play e5, but was this now the right moment to do so? I decided to go knight e7 to reroute my knight to d5 and be able to bring out my bishop to d7 and then to c6. This was gonna be my plan on how to make my bishop on c8 come to life again. He spent some time thinking here, probably not being exactly sure of what to do, but he had 2 minutes 20, and so there was quite a lot of time yet. He played rook e1, time to get the rooks into the game as well. It's always important to remember that you should have your rooks working as well. And I thought, okay, it's time for my bishop to shine. Let's bring it out to d7. The time was equalizing. He had now less than 2 minutes left when he brought out his rook to b1. And my plan was now very clear. I was going to play bishop c6, and now my bishop was going to be alive. I was now feeling very happy with my position, and my idea now was just to pressure him on the clock. He brought up his knight to e5, trying to centralize the knight, and I quickly decided that I had to trade that off. And he thought, okay, am I going to take with the pawn or the queen? He takes with the pawn. This I was quite happy with because now the d-file was open for one of my rooks to come in. Should I put a rook on d8 or should I start by bringing out the knight? I decided to bring a rook to d8. Now my rook is very active and he can never try to threaten it at checkmate because my bishop on c6 is so strong. This bishop, which was the saddest bishop on universe, I think that's the way you say it, is now becoming a very strong bishop, controlling this whole diagonal. His time was ticking even more. He had 1 minute 20. And I was very happy. All my pieces, apart from my rook on a8, were being very, very productive. I always try to look very confident when I'm playing chess, which I don't know if I look confident here, but I kind of feel like I do. And that makes me happy. because it's poker face is part of chess too. His time was ticking even more. He had 50 seconds left now. I thought he was going to try to start attacking my king, but I think he just didn't really know exactly what to do. He had to make a choice and decided to play rook b4 with the idea of trying to attack my king, bring that rook to the king side, and start threatening my king as much as he could. This move actually quite surprised me because I didn't really like the idea that now if I played something like queen d7, for instance, to try to get my queen and my rook to become a battery, he would defend with rook d4. And so I actually thought that this move was very strong. So I had to get into some deep calculation, as I really did not want to get checkmated, and I really wanted to make sure that I wasn't blundering anything. I was really worried about his rook coming up to g4. And so this move actually really scared me, and it really required me to think very deeply here on how to defend this game. I did not want to lose to Gustav. I really wanted to win this game, and now it was crucial for me to find the defense. I only had 50 seconds left to his 41 seconds, and time was ticking. I played rook d7, kind of saying, I'm not sure if this is the best move, but I gotta make a move fast. We both had equal time. I was super focused, laser focused at this point. I knew I had no time to make any mistakes. I was looking at the whole board. And he was also trying to find a way now of attacking. How was he going to continue the attack? He played bishop b1. And I brought up my other rook to attack his bishop on d2. 7 seconds on the clock. He played bishop f4. Defending his bishop and defending his pawn. But I now realize that his bishop was not in a good square. His rook wasn't in a good square. I played a5 attacking it. The rook went back. How could I continue this? I started realizing that he could at some point play queen c2 and threaten checkmate on h7, which really worried me, but I played knight d5, threatening his bishop. With 1 second on the clock, he moved his bishop back, almost losing on time. I was calculating what happens if knight takes c3. Can I take the pawn? I decided yes, I can, because when he threatens checkmate, I'll be able to take his bishop, and now there's no more checkmates being threatened. I was trying to calculate all the tactics right now and played a bishop a4 here. He played h3, and now my idea was to go rook d1, and then after takes, my bishop on a4 would be defending the rook, and after all the trades, he resigned, and I won this game against Gustav. I started telling him after the game how actually this rook on b4 I thought was quite strong. We discussed a little bit more. Gustav was really nice. He was smiling a lot. I was smiling a lot. And here the game finished. I was starting the tournament with 2 out of 2, being very happy about my results. And I hope you enjoyed watching this game, and let me know if you want to see more games from this tournament, and if you want to know how this tournament in Stockholm went, which by the way included some grandmasters. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all in my next video.